coaches, our staff, for the preparation and the effort that we put into it. And if we can continue to play hard and coach up the mistakes and grow from week 1 to 2 and throughout the season, I think we can win a lot of football games.
We, how impressed were you? We talked about last week about how many guys that were making their first starts in the collegiate thing. Going into that environment and performing that way, how impressed were you by especially with your new guys and your young guys?
Yeah, very much so. A freshman quarterback sophomore quarterback, but a sophomore quarterback starting his first game. Landon Clark did a great job. Proud of him for the job that he did. The moment was never too big for him. Zymir Winston, a receiver that has had limited reps for us in the past, came up, made a big catch for us. The offensive line, we got several guys on there making their first start. Felt like they did a really good job. And that goes over onto the defensive side as well. We moved some guys around on the back end, playing new positions for the first time. Brady Carroll, first game in our program, a Division II kid who really has impacted our defense, made some big plays for us. So, yeah, Rob, real proud of those guys who are stepping into that starting role for the first time in their career.
We're here with Elon head coach Tony Trisciani. If you have a question for him this morning, just use the chat feature or the raise your hand icon. Let's talk about Landon. My first chance to really have a chance to watch him, and man, was he, as you said, impressive. 10 of 16 passing for 101 yards, 61 yards and a touchdown on the ground. How valuable to have a guy who can make so many plays with arms and legs, and I'm sure you and your staff are just still trying to figure out maybe the best way to utilize that skill set.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Landon, he is a talented athlete and a relentless competitor. So proud of the job he did. Felt like he was efficient, 63% throwing the football. No turnovers was big for us as an offense. He missed a few hots perhaps, and maybe that led to some sacks early. But he got better during the game. And once he got flowing, I felt like he was really comfortable out there. Doug Martin, our offensive coordinator, quarterback coach, has done a great job just getting him ready to go to where he can be comfortable and run our offense. So, we'll continue to push him and we'll put more on his plate. We tried to keep things pretty clean there, going into the first game. So there's more that we can build on with Landon and use his athleticism and his arm talent.
It was good to see TJ Thomas back on the field, and he didn't look like he had skipped a beat. 18 carries, 61 yards, and a touchdown. And then Jameel Williams also gave you some nice runs, 41 yards on only 5 carries. How did you feel about the running game in general?
Yeah, I felt good about it. We were able to create some explosive runs. When you play these FBS games, especially a Power 4 school, that's usually the biggest challenge is, hey, can we block their front? And so I was pleased with the job that we did. We were able to create some creases, and we were able to use some quarterback run game that opens up some things for us as well. But TJ and Jameel Williams, both of those guys, I felt like they did a really good job and stepping on the gas and getting north and south too, and breaking some tackles. So real pleased with both of those guys with the ball in their hand.
Before I let you go, one more on the offense. I always thought Dylan Magazine was kind of your designated blocker, and he showed he can do more than just block the other night. 3 catches for 61. Really looked good catching the ball. Is that something that you hope to maybe incorporate him a little more in this season?
Yeah, we have to. Dylan's a really good athlete. In high school, Dylan played quarterback and corner, right? Corner. So, he's put on some weight. He's an athletic kid. He's learned how to play tight end and block and run routes. All that stuff's new to Dylan Magazoo when he got here to Elon. But Matt Ford's done a great job, our tight end coach, developing his skill set. And yeah, he can run. He can get down the field. He can jump. He's got body control. He made an amazing catch that he picked like literally off of the turf, off of the grass, Um, and so, yeah, Dylan's a really good athlete, and he can do a lot of different things in our offense.
Question for you this morning from Bob Sutton. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning. Tony, back to that offensive line. You mentioned, I noticed one of your team awards went to an offensive lineman and from the week. And I just, how physically do you think they held up, against a pretty established front from Duke?
Yeah, I felt like they did a good job, and that group will, continue to get better. Alex Stadler, our offensive line coach, is really brought that group together. They are a tight group and they want to be great and they're committed to the unit and working together. And I think that's our greatest strength up there. We have the ability to move some guys around. When Amarian went down and Luke had to move from tackle to guard and Evan came in, like that's not easy to do, to be able to play multiple spots. So credit to that group and Coach Stadler and our guys for being able to do that in the middle of the game.
Let's switch over to the defense real quickly. You guys did a pretty good job holding Darian Menza, a pretty dynamic quarterback, to only 10 points there in the first half. Overall, how did you feel like you played defensively?
Yeah, I feel like we played well, especially early, because we stumbled out of the gate a little bit offensively in our first couple drives, and defensively we had the big stop in the red zone and a missed field goal, and then a 3-and-out. That was big. I felt like we fit the run well for most of the game, and then we gave up a third and short, and it creased us, and we missed the tackle there, and that was a big explosive run, and really started to change the game there. Um, but I do feel like for the most part, we fit the run well against an ACC opponent.
Home opener on Saturday as Davidson comes to Rhodes Stadium. As you started to prepare for Davidson, what are some of the challenges they present?
So Davidson, they are a program now, new coach, right? So transition there, but these kids, they're used to winning and they're used to going to the playoffs. And the last time they came here to Rhodes Stadium, they gave us one heck of a football game. That was during COVID, but they went toe to toe with us then. So and they've got some veteran players back, so they're going to believe they can come in here and compete and win the football game. Um, it's a brand new offense and brand new defense, so I would expect a lot of growth from that program here from week one to week two. But they've got a veteran quarterback. They've got two really good running backs, and like nine starters back on offense. So as they start to gel together in this new scheme, I'd expect them to come in here ready to play.
Just building off just your comment from a second ago, what is the biggest thing you'd like to see growth-wise for your team from week one to week two?
Yeah, clean up some of the sloppiness, the pre-snap penalties, some operation things on special teams to clean up. And then from a tackling standpoint, defensively, really improve there, whether it's posture or leverage or wrapping. That's an area we need to make sure that we improve this week. And then just overall attention to detail, program wide, just clean some things up. And these guys are hungry. We had a great meeting. It's nice playing on a Thursday, and having the extra days there. So, we had a great meeting yesterday and walked through, and these guys are hungry. They want to get better. And we're hungry for a win.
All right, Tony, thanks for the time this morning. Good luck on Saturday night against Davidson and look forward